And hello there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It is the DOUG, and we are back for more of the Sweetest Monster. We were last looked up before I got my phone call yesterday. We were still in the school, more or less. So let's get back to it. With that examination, Belle sits down the wooden piano cover once again, hiding the delicate assembly of strings within. I raise an eyebrow like I'm the Rock. That was awfully fast. Oh, are you doubting the quality of my handiwork, my good sir? I, who was once the crowned queen of France? I must admit I am a little dubious. If you really can tune a piano as fast as you claim you can, I'll be out of a job. Hee hee. Well, that's just how it goes in the cutthroat world of work. They always want newer people, younger people with bright eyes and fast fingers, who work harder for less pay and don't truly understand their rights. Is that supposed to be breaking the fourth wall again? I sigh. Belle's right. I've noticed an alarming trend lately which has been sweeping through these schools these past few years. A number of the teachers, good teachers, men and women I was on friendly small talk terms with, are being laid off. First it was Miss Long, then Mr. Garnland, then Mr. Potts. It can't be any coincidence that these men and women were all in their mid-50s or even older. These people hired to replace them, meanwhile, were so young they could have only been a few years older than Melly, fresh from finishing their PGCEs. It's a wonder that the kids listen to them at all. They're not much more than kids themselves. The school doesn't feel like a school to me, not anymore. It's more like a nursery. I go into the staff room to escape being prodded and mauled by the children, not confronted with even more of them. I have no doubts in a handful of years I'll be laid off too, replaced with some trendy young boy or girl who insists upon being called by their first name and likes listening to, oh, I don't know, Skrillex and can't even read sheet music. You have a point, but I'd rather not talk about it. It's depressing. I see. The looming prospect of unemployment is always a toughie, huh? Especially when you have a wife and daughter. They don't make things easy, do they? It's no wonder you resent them, especially when you're trying so hard, but they never seem to realize. I wince, my head pounds. She's right again. It's almost as though she can see right through me, peering inside the recesses of my skull and pouring on all the different wires within. I'm suddenly struck by a frightening thought. What if she knows me even better than I know myself? That's just humans for you, though, huh? Ungrateful through and through. You get too old, and you get tossed aside like a raggedy cardigan. Sure, they hand out the usual platoons. I'm so sorry to let you go. You were an invaluable asset to our team, but they don't mean it. It means nothing, especially if they hang you out to dry like that. People always say things they don't mean. It's just manners, and manners don't cost a penny. I can stand niceness for the sake of niceness. It's so tawdry. I feel my fingers clenching into a fist at my side. I'm trembling. I wish I wasn't. Maybe Bill can sense my fear. I already said I don't want to talk about it. Bilks exhales, running a hand through her short hair. Suit yourself, I guess. Being a queen in the past life, I can't understand your petty, pestilent worries. They're unsuited to a noble figure such as I. Now, how would a noble figure really wear a skirt that short? People would faint if they saw so much as exposed ankle back in the heyday of Madame Antoinette. And that's precisely why I like to dress like this. Experimenting with new fashion trends is exciting. A schoolgirl uniform is hardly a fashion trend. I paused, pondering. And Marie Antoinette was also made redundant, wasn't she? In the worst way possible. Indeed, but I was dignified to the last. I did not scream or cry, not even when my head was on the chopping block. That would have been far too unladylike. Ha ha! Well, color me impressed. I don't think I would have been able to handle being executed with such good sportsmanship. It takes practice, years of training. Don't worry, Robin. I'm sure you'll get there. I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you. I quite like my head being attached to my neck. I quite like your head, too. You're cute. Oh, I'm not sure about that. We exchange brief glances, and then we both start to laugh. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because this situation is so ridiculous. The two of us hold up inside the music classroom like fugitives hiding from the rest of the ward. Right now, I could almost believe Belle is my whole world. Almost. If it weren't for the sound of the children playing outside, that is. So, Robin, aren't you curious? Do you want to see what a good job I did? About the piano, you mean? That's right. Why don't we play together? That might be nice. It's been a while since I played with anybody else. You know you teach piano? Even so, mostly I just sit and listen to my students. I don't get a chance to play very much myself. Didn't you didn't you even try to teach Melody? I did for a brief moment of time, but Melody didn't like it. She wasn't built for it. You mean she was stubby little fingers. She wasn't physically unsuited. It was more mentally, I suppose. She didn't have the knack. No staying power. Nice to say about your daughter. It's sad. I really did want Melody to learn how to play the piano. It wasn't just something passing whim. It was my dream. Maybe it was because of grandfather. He was the one who taught me how to play the piano all those years ago, back when I was 5. He was a patient tutor who offered me words of encouragement, and at the end of each lesson, he'd give me a fruit gum as a reward. I never saw him play the piano as a burden, though I'm sure lots of children made to learn instruments do. It was fun. I thought it was. I looked forward to every single lesson, and I especially enjoyed it when grandfather would play alongside me. I thought those duets we played together were beautiful. They were a way for the two of us to communicate on a level deeper than words. I guess that's why I wanted to teach music. Like most people who experience something unforgettable in their youth, I wanted nothing more than to share my feelings with others. I wanted to share it with my daughter, my Melody. But it didn't work out like that. I don't have grandfather's patience, and Melanie had no desire to learn. She hated the piano and would always complain when it was time for her lessons. Not like Belle. Belle sits on the edge of the stool, leaving enough space for me to join her, with an expectant look on her face. She wants me to play with her. Somebody actually wants me to play with them. Now, when was the last time that happened? I haven't felt wanted like this for years. Alright then, let's see what you can do. I roll up my sleeves, an unabashed smile tugging at my lips. It's the kind of smile that's impossible to suppress, just like laughter that threatens to erupt at inappropriate moments. I take a seat by Belle in the stool, facing the scratched old stoneware. The stool is small. I got the hiccups. And I can feel Belle's side pressed against mine. For all the talk about being a spirit, her body is warm and inviting, reassuringly human. What do you want to play? I like Dubie's La Patte de Sud is one of my favorites. Do you know that song, right? Of course I know it. I've been playing the piano for more than 30 years. Please have some faith in me. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were such an old man. Not as old as you. Touchy. You're primary school teachers nowadays. You have such sharp tongues. Suppose that's to make up for the fact that you legally can't hit anyone, right? As if I'd want to hit anyone. I'm not violent. Well, what a shame. I like a man who can take charge. Speaking of taking charge, are you sure you'll be able to keep up? You were a cat for an awfully long time. I know, but cats are very graceful creatures. I was a virtuoso even in my feline form. I have vague memories of Belle climbing over the piano at the great Aunt Clarence's home, her paws pressing against the black and white keys in a carapace of noises. I laugh. Well, maybe you have a point. Hee hee, you look a lot cuter when you smile like that. You don't smile nearly enough, Robin. I haven't had much to smile about recently, to tell you the truth. It feels a little bit strange. Maybe I fractured the muscles around my mouth. Well, I'm sorry if smiling is painful for you, but I won't let you off the hook. Now we've begun, I'm going to make you smile much, much more. Oh, you will you? When she says it like that, it sounds like a challenge, and I don't like backing down from challenges. Hee hee. Belle giggles slowly as the last note fades into silence, pausing to brush a strand of hair behind her ear. La Pea's suit should be a tad longer than our abridged version, but we don't have enough time. Lunch break will be ending soon, then my classroom will be assailed by children again, with their sticky fingers and gaping mouths. For a few minutes I almost managed to believe Belle and I were the only ones left on the planet. For a few moments that's truly what I wanted. But we all have to return back to reality someday. I think between you and me, we made a right mess of that. Well, it's been a while since I played anything that complicated. And it's been a while since I had fingers. I apologize for being clumsy. It's fine. Even if you were clumsy, it was very passionate. Thank you. I'm always passionate in everything that I do. I can't understand humans who ain't, who drift through life like jellyfish, pale and gray, even though their lives are so much more shorter than mine. Like Debussy. Yeah, like Debussy. I think it might be good he's dead, though. He'd be very upset that we butchered his song. Belle smiles, coiling a strand of dark hair around one finger. Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I should probably be going now. I glance at Belle's impeccable school uniform, a smile on my face. I take it you have classes you need to attend? Of course, I love to hang around with my favorite teacher a little bit longer, but this girl is on a tight schedule. Playing the piano wore me out. It did. All you had to do was move your fingers. I am aware, but I'm still not used to maintaining this form. I think I need a nap. You're sleepy at lunchtime? You really are like a cat. I was a cat until a few days ago. Now this cute kitty needs to recharge. Ka-ching! I think I'm a little more prepared for her outward shows of affection today. She leans towards on the stool, not that she needs to, given how close we already are, and presses a kiss against the tip of my nose, as light as a falling feather. But I still feel my face turning red. What is this anyway? Am I starting to feel like the schoolgirl here? I'm not even in the appropriate uniform. Thank God. Belle gets to her feet and smiles, giving me a concrete wave. Bye, Mr. Hawkins. I'll see you again soon. Do we have to leave, though? Through the window? It might look a little suspicious. Don't worry. Nobody noticed me in here. I'm sure nobody would notice me leaving. You're awfully confident. Of course I'm confident. I was royalty in my last life, remember? Ha ha ha. Of course. And quicker than blinking, Belle slips through the window. I watch as she walks away, her dark hair fluttering around her shoulders. She disappears in less than a minute, as though she were never she were never there at all. Doug can't speak right this morning. What time do you call this? That's the first thing Sally says when I return home. Not, hello, how was your day? Or, you look tired. Why don't you sit down? But, so, what time did you call this? Though it's phrased as a question, I have enough sense to realize Sally means it strictly rhetorical sense. She knows what time it is already. It says on the clock on the kitchen wall, as plain as day, 6, give or take, and given that the clock is a few minutes fast. It isn't a curious inquiry, it's an outright accusation. Look, I'm sorry, Sal. I know it's a little later than usual, but I couldn't help it. I had a staff meeting. A staff meeting? That's right, I told you about it this morning, didn't I? Not that I recall, no. You sure I didn't? I could have sworn I did. It doesn't matter how much you swear. That doesn't change the fact that this meeting slipped your mind. Now, why is Sally making those little worm-shaped quotation marks with her fingers? It really wasn't a staff meeting. I didn't enjoy it one bit and it was incredibly tedious, but that's what happened. What does she think I was doing? Does she really have that little faith in me? This is like the Great Milk Inquisition of last night all over again, and I'm no hurry for a reprisal of that. I'm sorry, Sally, I must have forgotten. I've been to so many of those damn meetings these last few weeks, it's hard to keep track of it all. And that is why you didn't look at your voicemail, because you've been so damn busy? Voicemail? What are you talking about? I'm talking about Melly, Robin. She was sent home from school earlier today. I had to go pick her up. Huh? Wait, what? I thought Sally was just complaining for the sake of complaining, as she won't to doing nowadays. Didn't expect there to be a real valid point of criticism concerned amongst her words. Geez, I must sound like such a hypocrite. There was complaining that Sally doesn't trust me, when I don't trust her either. My parents argued a lot, too. Maybe that's where I learned all these tricks from. The bickering, the scapcorn, the paranoia, the dislike. That's right, Melly hurt herself. She was acting distracted all day and kept falling asleep in class. Insomnia. That's what Melly has, apparently. Then in the middle of PE, she tripped and sprained her leg. She could barely walk. She had to go home. A sprained leg, too? Not to mention social anxiety, depression, and daily medication. But why don't we just try to tackle this one hurdle at a time? That's what John Fuller, Melly's physician, though according to Jonah, she isn't a physician, she's a child welfare expert, says. I'm sorry, I didn't check my voicemail then. I didn't think. No, you never do you? Well, mobile phones are banned at our school for the students. I mean, ever since Dyer Prince pinched Phoebe Walker's iPhone. Not that children even need iPhones anyway. What are they, 7, 8? And what does that have to do with Melly? I just meant since the children ain't allowed to have phones at school, I said it set a pretty poor example if I had mine turned on all day. That may be the case, but you could have checked it when class ended. I know, I really am sorry, Sally. It totally slipped my mind. So how is Melly? When did she have PE? You don't know your own daughter's timetable? I hardly know my own timetable, Sally. I had the shock of my life just this afternoon when instead of class 2 year 6, I had class 3 year 1. I don't know why I even bothered to tune the piano since those year 1 students can't carry a tune in a bucket. So you broke out the Macarenas again, did you? Gets my better judgment, yes. Give them things that make a lot of noise and they'll be happy. A small smile coaxed the corner of Sally's lips. It flickers there in sun like a gluttony flame. I think she's still annoyed at me, but the mental image she must have me being overrun by screaming 5-year-olds is so entertaining she can't quite stop herself from smiling. Well, a small smile is better than no smile, I suppose. Melly had PE in the afternoon. It was the second to last lesson of the day, so she hasn't been back home for long. Not too long. She spent most of the time upstairs in her room. I think she's resting. You don't think Melly's sprained leg is anything life-threatening, do you? I'm sure she'll be fine come the morning. She hasn't broken any bones. The school nurse said it was fatigue. Fatigue? I wonder what she's been doing to tire herself out so much. It's not like she ever leaves her room. Maybe homework. She's always been so anxious about her grades. She shouldn't worry so much. She's far smarter than I was when I was a kid. You should tell her that more often. It's probably because you don't praise her enough that she has such low self-esteem, especially given those disastrous piano lessons. Were they really that bad? You made her cry. I might have done, but that was years ago. She's probably forgotten by now. I think you're underestimating just how delicate Melly is. Maybe. I stretch. I feel slightly more at ease now I know my Melly isn't in life-threatening danger. It's just a sprained leg, not even a broken bone. Do you think I should go and talk to her, ask her if she's alright? I don't know if Melly's in the mood to talk to you right now. She's stressed enough as it is. So first you tell me I should pay more attention to my daughter, and now you say I should pay less. A man can't do both things at once, silly Sally. I know, it's complicated. You're making it more complicated than it needs to be. I just want to talk to my daughter, not find a cure for cancer. Sally sighs. I just think if you really cared about Melly, you would have come back home earlier. It might seem a tad insincere. This again, I already told you, Sal was in a meeting. I can't do anything about that. I know that, Robin, but Melly might not. You never bothered to explain it to her. I paused, my mouth hanging open, my self-righteousness indulgent cut short. Sally might have a point. Given how rarely I speak to Melly, it's entirely probable that I've never explained my circumstances to her before. Maybe this whole time Melly was lying upstairs in her room, curled up in her bed, wondering where I was at. Where was I? Thinking I didn't come because I didn't care, because I don't like her. But that isn't true. At least, I don't think it is. I can't deny that I find Melly hard work, but I do love her. She's my daughter. I know I haven't been as forthright with Melly as I should be, but I don't know where to begin. I don't want to worry her. Where Dave and Travis text me. She doesn't need to know how busy I've been at work, or that the headmistress keeps firing staff left, right, and center. I know how you feel, Robin, but Melly isn't a child. You should try to be more honest with her. But what good does honesty do? It just upsets people. But hiding things and playing mind games hurts far more. Damn, Travis, that's effed up. And sprained legs, too, I take. It did look rather swollen. Did you put ice on it? A pack of frozen peas. I think it's gone down now. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I stand at the corner of the kitchen running my options through my mind like paper through a printer. Naturally, I also like paper through a printer. My thoughts keep getting jammed, and I have to pause to manually reload them again and again. Right, I'll think I'll see Melly later, after she's had a chance to rest up. Give her a couple of hours. I think I need some time to prepare myself. You need to prepare yourself to spend time with your daughter? Sure, all guys get anxious when they have to talk to pretty girls. Oh, you. Sally rolls her eyes, but at least she doesn't look annoyed. I forgot you were such a charmer. I laugh. I guess it's easy to forget. Marriage has domesticated me. A pause. You do think our marriage was a good thing, don't you? Of course, I wouldn't have agreed to it otherwise. We're just going through a rough patch. That's all couples have them. Oh, Sally, I sigh, suddenly overcome with emotion. Sally sounds like her old self again. Sally Polly when I was tugging at the ponytail. She always tied her hair in the back end. Or silly Sally when she said something ridiculous and I wanted to make her blush. She said we're going through a rough patch. She has no idea. These things might be more rather complicated than her cautious optimism leads her to believe. Melly, hello Melly, are you awake? True to my words, a few hours have passed and I stand outside Melly's bedroom door. It's dark and the hallway is cloaked in shadow. It's kind of imposing. I feel like an unwanted intruder, an interloper, vampire-like. All I can do is wait for Melly's invitation to come inside. I could wait and wait and wait until hell itself froze over, but I don't think that invitation is forthcoming. Melly doesn't reply. I rap again, my knuckles brushing against the wooden door. Melly? Melly's bedroom door is a dark magnet framed by plum-colored wallpaper. There's a small wooden plate displayed on the door above the brass doorknob which reads Ality in colorful letters. The M fell off a few years ago, leaving behind a strange, unfamiliar name. Still, despite my knocking, Melody doesn't answer. I'm not sure if she's really asleep at 7 in the evening, yeah, right, or if she's just ignoring me. Alright then, I'm coming in. Excuse me. And with this small apology, I take hold of the brass knob and turn it. Melody's door slowly opens, creaking with each and every inch. I think the hinges might be starting to go. I step inside Melody's private quarters, her inner sanctum, and shut the door behind me. I used to go into Melody's room all the time when she was younger to read picture books to her about Maze the mouse and Connie the cat to help her not off to sleep. But that was a long, long time ago. When was the last time I came in here? Maybe it was a few months ago. Maybe it was more. I don't remember. Molly's room is dark, the lights off and curtains drawn, but I can dimly make out the shape in the gloom. Molly's bookcase is stacked full of paperbacks. We'll thumb through Fillmore's and J.K. Rowling's, and I can see familiar figures scattered across her desk. The droopy carnelians of a plushy Betsy Bell lying next to a beaten-up old Connie cat who's missing one of her paws. Aww. Standing in the room almost feels like entering a time capsule, set off from the rest of time and space. I could be 9, 10 years younger. Melly could be my cute little girl again. Still shy, but not nearly as awkward. Maybe Melly loved me more back then. I think I might have loved her more back then, too. I can see a small lump caught up underneath the covers and long black hair framing out across the blue bedspread. Now deep navy in the darkness. Molly's back is turned towards me. Can't see her face. I'm not sure if I'm happy about this or not. I wonder what kind of expression she's making. Do I really want to know? Melody? I approach her slowly, cautiously, as a convict might when approaching the gallows, as Marie Antoinette herself must have done more than 200 years ago. Melly, are you asleep? A stupid question to ask, of course. If she really is asleep, she can't possibly answer. And if she isn't, then she must be pretending, so reply to me anyway. As expected, she doesn't say anything. The silence stretches on. Look, I'm sorry for intruding, Melly. I won't stay for long. I think about taking a seat on her bed. Melly sighed, but I don't. After such a long time of silence between the pair of us, I don't think we're ready for such a big commitment. Even so, I feel restless. I fish Bertie Bear up from Melly's desk for some reason. Connie Cat looks a little too intimidating for my liking, with a marred forward Mr. Paul, and turn her over in my hands, just to give myself something to do. I just thought I should come here because I wanted to say, I'm sorry. Molly doesn't stir. I didn't expect her to, neither, so that's just fine. I'm not sorry that you hurt your leg. Mine. Because I know that was just an unfortunate accident, and nobody's to blame for that. Least of all you, Melly. I know it wasn't your fault. That isn't to say I'm not worried about you, because I am. But I know you're a tough girl, and you'll get well soon. Sally said it was only a sprain. You didn't even break a bone. Isn't that good? More silence. I know I'm rambling. It's a bad habit of mine, but I can't stop myself. The silence is preservative, creepy. 1 second, guys. I got another phone. Okay, never mind. They hung up on me. I didn't even get to answer. They hung up. I don't even recognize that number anyway, so... creeping into the very interior of my skull like a thick smog. I need to try and blot it out. Maybe if I can fill the room with the sound of my own rain and cataract shadow, I can kid myself into thinking I have some kind of meaningful conversation with Melly. That this, whatever this is, might actually change something. I'm sorry if I haven't been talking to you enough lately, Melly. I know I've been kind of distant, and it isn't your fault. I swear it isn't. I've been really busy at work, and I know you're probably thinking, how could he be busy? He's just a music teacher. And I'm not mad about it. Everybody thinks it. Even Sally thinks it. Truth of the matter is, our school didn't do so on the last officer report, and a lot of parents have been complaining, and it's just kind of stressful. Not that I want to burden you with my own worries, of course, but I just wanted to let you know. That's why I haven't been around so much. It's not because of you, and it's not because I'm trying to avoid you. That thought never crossed my mind. Well, I suppose it's crossed my mind just now, but it's only crossed my mind in order to tell you that it didn't. I exhaled heavily, squeezing the poor, absurd Betsy Bear to my chest. I wish I didn't have to feel anxious. What kind of grown man is scared of his own daughter? But I can't help it. I'm sorry if I've been acting short with you lately too. Melly, this isn't your fault, it's mine. I'm just stressed, I suppose, and I'm sorry that we didn't get to go out last weekend. I know I promised, but I just got caught up with something. I know it doesn't make it any better, and I really am sorry. At this, Melly makes a noise. It's so small it could belong to a mouse, but I heard it clearly nevertheless. So Melly wasn't asleep after all. She really was listening to me. That, at least, is a little reassuring. If you want, we can go out this week and do something together like a family. How about that? Molly doesn't say anything in response, but I see her shift slightly into her divan. Does that mean she's thinking about it? Yeah, it'd be fun. We haven't done anything together for a while, so it would be nice to get out the house. We can go anywhere you want, to the zoo, for a walk, maybe to the beach. I know how much you liked going to Whitby when you were little. Anyway, you don't need to come to a decision right now. Just think about it. If you want to go anywhere, just tell me or Sal. We'll sort it all out for you. Molly still doesn't respond, but I think I've got her attention. I wonder if it's some kind of cruel generic trick that when I get anxious I can talk forever, whereas Melly gets anxious she can hardly force out a single syllable. We might be father and daughter, but I don't think we have that much in common. We're more like polar opposites, really. But even so, we are flesh and blood, we are related. I promise, Melly, you want to go out? We'll go out. You deserve it. You're my daughter, and I love you very much. I love her more than the words themselves can express. Think about giving Melly's head a pat, her hair a stroke, but I don't. Instead, I squeeze Betsy Bear tighter until her head collapses in on itself like a rotting fruit. Alright, May 14th, Friday. I spent much of the next day in a sense of hyper-alertness, my eyes peeled for even the slightest glimpse of a pair of bright green eyes or black tail. However, the house tripped by slowly in a company of screaming children and their reverberating, distant singing voices, and I still see no sign of her. I'm not sure if I should be relieved by Bo's disappearance or not. I'm not reading those big words. On the one hand, I did enjoy the attention, but on the other hand, I'd rather not jeopardize my relationship with Sally any further. She is my wife, after all, and I do love her. That's what I've been telling myself. Finally finished with school for the day, and not a minute too soon. I wipe my brow and heave a heavy sigh. Kids, they really take it out of you. Sally wanted us to have more children, a son perhaps, for Melly to play with. But I thought that sounded like too much hassle, especially since I work with children every day. People might romantically think of children as perfect angels, still images from blurry Victorian photographs with big eyes and curly hair and cubic smiles. I, however, know otherwise. Young children are maniacs. Only this morning I had to scold Peter Newborn for hitting poor Jemmy Ashton over the head with a recorder. And that's not to mention the fun particular brass players can have fun with their spit valves. I really don't get paid enough for this. With a groan, I shrugged my coat onto my shoulders and do a quick circuit around the music classroom. I close and lock the windows, draw the curtains, turn off the lights, and then, satisfied that everything is in order, I exit and lock the classroom. And this is when things go to hell. It is as I'm making my way through the car park, reaching into my trouser pocket for my car keys, that I'm suddenly stopped short by a distant female voice. Belle. Hey, if it isn't my favorite human. She's leaning against my car, waving. She's wearing that school uniform again, the one she donned during her surprise visit yesterday's lunchtime. Her dark hair flutters in the breeze. Her white limbs stand out alarmingly against my car. One problem with these types of games, I have to drink a lot of stuff to keep my throat and lips dry. Ah, hey yourself, what are you doing? Isn't it obvious? I was waiting for you. Don't you think it might look a tad suspicious, a schoolgirl from St. Catherine's loading around my car like this? Oh yeah, I did get a few funny glances. You did you? Yep. There was this woman who had a face like a trout, her skin was gray and her eyes were squishy and all close together like this. Belle pulls her face, pushing her lips and making her eyes bug out until it looks like she's wearing a Halloween mask. I laughed despite myself. If there's one thing I like, it's a girl who knows how to poke fun at herself. She gets bonus points for being so pretty to begin with. I take it you had a run-in with the element and esteemed headmistress then. Oh, and I take it from your tone you don't like her very much. Not particularly, no. I don't think she likes me very much either, so... I'll go into my car and unlock it, the keys jingling in my hands. Did she say anything to you? She was like, what are you doing hanging around here? Do you have any business with our school? And what did you say? I almost dreaded to think. I said I was one of your piano students and had a lesson with you after school. Was that acceptable use? I suppose it's acceptable. It might seem a little suspicious, though. Why, because I'm so adorable? The real answer is because I'm starting to develop a guilty conscience. But I don't say that. Instead, I shake my head. Why should I feel guilty? I haven't done anything. It isn't a crime to talk to a younger girl. Sorry, immortal spirit, is it? Besides, all the kisses we exchanged have been one way. Belle was the one kissing me, not the other way around. I try to change the subject. That's easier than confronting the real issue at hand, that I may eventually be cheating on my wife. Your skirt is still far too short. Miss Phillips said the exact same thing. It's nice to know you afford other authority figures the same level of respect you give me. Psst. Belle sorts and rolls her eyes. They seem even greener than usual. So if I have to answer to that crusty old dragon lady, I'm probably old enough to be your great-great-grandmother. Of course, I can't imagine Marie Antoinette answered to anybody. Save the guillotine, of course. Oh, so you remembered. How could I help but remember? It isn't every day you meet a girl who claims to be the reincarnation of a famous historian figure. A famous historic figure who got her head lopped off, no less. So, now that we established you were waiting for me, I want to know the reason why. What are you planning? Planning? Why, Mr. Hawkins, you ruined me. You make it sound as though there's something sinister afoot. I think there might be, given you involved. I still don't even know what you are, not really. How cruel. I didn't come here to haunt you, if that's what you're implying. I came here because I missed you. You did? That's right. It feels like it's been so long. I saw you yesterday, Belle. That's right, yesterday. That was a whole 24 hours ago. I was so bored and lonely, I thought I was going to die. It's rabbits that die from loneliness, not cats. Same difference. They're really not the same. Whatever. Weren't you thinking about me as well? I turned my head to one side, trying to avoid Belle's gaze. It's true, I was thinking about Belle. How could I not? Who wouldn't think about her, especially given she insists on wearing such ridiculous, impractical outfits? But I can't tell her that. I don't want to give her the satisfaction. Honestly, no, I had a very busy day, which doesn't leave much time for mooning over schoolgirls. Hee hee, liar. I am not. Yes, you are. I can see it in your eyes. Damn, I must be more transparent than I thought. Anyway, since I went to the trouble of coming to see you, shall we get going? Where? On a date, of course. Wait, what? Of course, she says it like it's the most natural thing in the world. Maybe to a frickling feline who comes and goes as she pleases it is. But it's not to me. I'm a middle-aged man and have other commitments. I have a wife to return home to and a daughter I need to talk to. I promised her last night I said we would do something together tomorrow. If these plans have any hope of emerging into fruition, I should return home now. I need to discuss things with Sally. I can't keep running away, even if I have a very arresting distraction tugging at my arm, peering up at me with those big, big eyes. Come on, Robin. I miss you. I miss doing this. Haggling old men? No, I mean going out, having fun. I spent so long living like a cat. I completely forgot what it is like being with real people. I need some adult company or I'll go mad. I'm sick of being picked up and petted and stroked and patted on the head and called a good boy or good girl. The two are interchangeable since who knows what gender cats really are and who really cares. Now that I have a human body, I want to take advantage of it. I want to have some fun. Can't you do that on your own? I could, but that would be boring. Isn't it far more enjoyable to spend time with a person you like? I wince, my resolve wavering. Why am I so weak-illed? Melly can languish away in her room like a tower princess for months, and I'll happily ignore it. But this girl, who's still a virtual stranger, starts taking out my arm and putting on the theatrics, and I'm already lost. I don't know what that says about where my loyalties lie. I think it says, though I'm no professional psychiatrist, not like John Flavor, then I'm an asshole. Is that the correct medical term? But it would look suspicious, an old man like me hanging around with such a young girl. It's fine, I'll just say I'm your trophy wife. Trophy wife? Where do spirits pick up such phrases? Yeah, well, maybe not. That might be a bit too much. You can't just pretend. Did you just pretend I'm your daughter or something? It'd be fine. I swallow. All of a sudden, my throat feels dry. That's very kind of her, but I already have a daughter. I know you do, but it's not like you spend any time with her, is it? Well, Bo's grip around my arm tightens, though her body is slender and willow. She's unnaturally strong. I feel like my sides are being squeezed by a vice, stopping up the blood circulation through my right arm. You can think of it as a test one for the real thing. Just imagine that I'm Melly and we're out having a gay old time. Remember, gay used to mean a different term back in the day. Nobody says that anymore. It has other implications. Oh, the game already said it. No, let's not split hairs. Let's just go and enjoy ourselves. I can't deny that Bella's offer sounds tempting, not as a test run for spending time with my real daughter, but because Bella's an amusing person and I enjoy her company. I probably had more fun with her the last 3 days than I've had in the last 3 months combined. That's wrong, though, isn't it? Belle isn't my daughter. Melly is, and I did promise. I said I'd try to spend more time with her. I wish I didn't feel so conflicted. I wish I wasn't so weak-illed. I already know what I'm going to be saying before the words come out of my mouth. So, was there any reason why you wanted to come here out of all places? Not really, I just thought it would look cute. Cute being the key word. After I uncle relinquished to Bo's demands with the stipulation that we return home in under an hour, Bo decided to drag me all the way here. I realized that by paraphrasing what transpired the last 5 minutes in such a manner, I've made myself seem like an unwilling victim, pulled along by Bo's insatiable movements like a cog in a machine. I have no doubt some people would wonder if this is truly an accurate portrayal of my thoughts, and whether I did not, contrary to my protest, agree to Bo's decision almost at once. To all of you naysayers, I can only tell you that I have no further comments to add. I cannot satisfy you because I cannot truly satisfy myself. I am an adult, and I know I shouldn't have come here, but adult though I may be, I'm also a coward. Belle and I are sitting in an ice cream parlor, an oddity in England, with quaint brick walls and smooth white tables, a Baskin Robbins. Those still exist? It's the kind of place I would go on with Melly if it had existed when she was younger. There were fewer chain brands back then. Now the high street is overrun with them. In the last 4 years, the small village has become distinctly Americanized. We even have a Starbucks. Ah, the most evil thing in the world, our Starbucks. Sorry, Becky and Justin, I know you guys like Starbucks. I don't, sorry. Who on earth wants to spend $5 on a coffee? It beggars belief. Got a good point there. I guess that's progress for you. I'm not really sure why Belle wanted to come here of all places. The shop isn't very busy, which makes us stand out even more. The other paintings are small children. The hair devilishly sputters of ice cream around their mouths and on their noses, accompanied by beleaguered parents who are probably regretting their choices that led to them to this place. I suppose I feel a certain amount of commandeerment with those phased men and women. It's mostly women, even though our situations ain't all that alike. I'm beginning to wonder why I came here too. The staff gives us no shortage of funny glares when we first come in, prompting me to explain perhaps more defensively than I should have done that I was here with my daughter. They seem to relax a little after that, but I'm still aware of their eyes boring into my back. Maybe I'm just being paranoid? Is this my own guilty conscience? My personal Jiminy Cricket giving me a short prod in my neck with the tip of his umbrella? You don't fucking lie. That's not your daughter. That's some spirit. Tell the truth. Yeah, and then you'd be locked up in an insane asylum. I was right to think going out with Belle would be a bad idea, particularly when she's wearing that school uniform. I probably look like a criminal. I feel like a criminal. Because you've been hit by a smooth criminal. Are you okay, Belle? Are you okay, Belle, Belle? This isn't working wonders for my self-esteem. Though Belle is undeniably pretty, pretty girls ain't just entertaining distractions. They can be dangerous, too. At least Belle looks happy. She's eating ice cream sundae, savoring it slowly. She brings the silver spoon to her lips, laddered with ice cream, and draws it into her mouth. Her lips part in an O as she lets the ice cream dissolve across her tongue. The expression on her face is one of pure bliss. Makes her look even younger than she already is. You really like ice cream, don't you? I love it. I must have gotten a taste for it the other night. I don't think it was just the ice cream she was savoring back then, though. Nope, she wanted to savor something else. I replay that memory throughout my head once more. My cheeks start to flush. I turn my head, pressing one hand across my mouth. My cheeks burn. Yeah, she wanted to do something else with you, and pretended it was the ice cream. Ah, delicious. Belle sighs contentedly and takes a spoon out of her mouth with a wet pop. Hey, Robin. She smiles mischievously, pointing the spoon in my direction. Do you want to try some? No, it's all right. I bought it for you. But it's more fun sharing it. I want to know what you think. I think I'm too old to eat ice cream. It'll give me indigestion. And Sally will have made dinner already. She'll be sitting at the kitchen table, arms folded, drumming on one foot against the floor, wondering where the hell I am. I wonder if Mellie's back home yet. It seems likely she doesn't belong to any after-school clubs, and I don't think she has any friends to hang around with either. I bet Sally sent me a bunch of text messages, voicemails too. I don't know because I had my phone turned off the entire time. I really am a coward. Huh? Come on. You're not that old. You should have a full head of hair at least. For now, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So stingy. You're no fun at all. I feel something collide against my shin. It's Belle's foot, and creating a shiny black shoe. At least her shoes are school regulation. Kind of like the ridiculous skirt. Don't do that. It hurts. And you hurt my feelings refusing to share this delicious ice cream with me. I've eaten ice cream before. I know how it tastes. But it tastes better if you eat it with me. A pause. Or if you eat it off me. Please don't say such things when we're out in public. We look suspicious enough as it is. Belle sticks out her tongue and delivers another kick to my shin. Maybe she's trying to engage me in a game of footsies, but I refuse to cave into her whims, even if resisting her blows is quite powerful. Oh, where does she get all the strength from anyway? Eventually, Belle tires of the skims and turns her attention back to slowly melting ice cream. She lifts a spoon of frozen treat up to her lips and slips the spoon inside the warm pink expansion of her mouth. She was a little over-enthusiastic there, actually, because when she draws her spoon away, I see a smudge of scented strawberry-flavored ice cream on the tip of her nose. It's kind of cute, actually. Got some food on you. Huh? Where? Just there. I tap my nose for demonstration. I can hardly wipe it off her nose myself. Most fathers ain't that touchy-feely with their daughters, are they? I'm certainly not with Mellie. Then again, my relationship with Mellie is rather unusual. Ah. Belle frowns thick in her nose and goes cross-eyed for a few moments. Is she trying to see that sludge of ice cream for herself? Can't you wipe it off for me, Robin? Why can't you do it yourself? You're a big girl, aren't you? No, I want you to do it. If you won't share this ice cream with me, you can at least help me clean up. Isn't that a staple of any first date? What do you mean, date? I lower my voice to a whisper and lean forwards, glaring. Remember, you're meant to be my daughter. That's what I said, and I'm going to stick to my story. Oh, please. You're being way too paranoid. As if anybody in here cares. The South are all too busy trying to make sure none of those little kids knock over the banana splits. Be that as it may, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit more careful. Belle giggles, her chest rising and fraying beneath her school sweater. Not that Belle goes to St. Catherine's, of course. Come on, Daddy. Can't you do your little girl a favor just this once? You have a human body now, Belle. Just think opposable thumbs. Do you want to take advantage of that? It is true that I'd rather fondle my new body, but there's more to life than opposable thumbs. What about the romance? There's no romance here, not between family. We're not the Bogars. I pause. Since you're a great Aunt Catherine's cat for almost 8 years, I guess that means you really are family. You know me ever since I was a little boy. And you know me since I was about this tall. Belle holds one hand above her table for emphasis. Touchy. Maybe family isn't the right term. Perhaps you could call us childhood friends. I don't recall you being particularly friendly. You used to scratch and bite me all the time. That was before you almost drowned trying to save me, you dolt. I would have been a great deal nicer had I known about your hidden depths. I don't think I have any hidden depths. I'm about as deep as a puddle. Maybe you are now. Marriage, melody, and an unfulfilling job where nobody takes you seriously drove it all out of you, didn't it? I wince. I thought we were just playing around, but Belle's eyes are as sharp as ever, even when she speaks with a slight lit to her tone. Maybe we are like childhood friends. I've known her longer than I've known Sally, and she certainly seems privy to all my secrets, even the ones I don't want to admit to myself. So, Belle leans forward, clutching her chin with her hands. She peers at me and a smile on her face. Her eyes flash. Are you going to clean me up or not? Her gaze is disconnecting. I don't think I can argue back. She wore me down. All right, just don't make a big song and dance about it. Don't worry, I won't. Belle blinks at me and experiments. She almost looks like a fairy tale princess waiting the kiss of a handsome prince. Unfortunately, I'm not royalty. I'm making my living on a teacher's wage. It's a mere penance at that. Plus, I hardly were what you call handsome. And if we want to smash this similar apart, Belle isn't a princess. I think she's more like a wicked witch or femme fatale, with her knowing eyes and her too short skirt. I lean forward, a napkin crumpled in my hand. All of a sudden, Belle's face seems far too close. I can almost count each of her individual eyelashes, feel her breath against my cheeks. Got you. Ah. All of a sudden, I feel something against my lips, something soft, warm, and not entirely unwelcome. Belle's kissing me. This is like her previous peaks. This is a real kiss, unabashedly romantic. I know Belle isn't human, but she seems awfully familiar with human customs, so I doubt this is some kind of mistake. She's not that naive. I think she's even smarter than I am, actually, to have tricked me like this. I can't help but feel taken advantage of. I was right. Belle is no fairy tale princess. She's the wicked witch for sure. What does that make me, then? One of the flying monkeys? She presses against me, demanding, and I gasp. Belle takes my shock as a further invitation. She pushes forwards, pushing my back against the chair, and her tongue enters my mouth. She tastes of ice cream, shockingly sweet, and her tongue is strangely cold compared to the warmth of her lips. I feel my heart seize up in my chest. My mind goes blank. When was the last time somebody kissed me like this? I can't remember. Sally certainly doesn't. We're too busy being egotistical about small things, stupid things, to trade open affection like this. I think I must be kissing Belle back. When Belle finally draws back, her lashes flutter, her lips curve into a mischievous smile. Her face is pale as ever, not a hint of blush on her cheeks, though she was the one who instigated the kiss. I'm the one who's embarrassed, breathing heavily, my face burning. If I were any older, I might have had a heart attack. The workers behind the counter really are looking at me now. This isn't just basically paranoia. It's the unquestionable, unshakable truth. They almost look as surprised as I do, their mouths open. They're not the only ones. The other patrons are staring at me, too. Even if I hadn't said Belle was my daughter, my behavior would still be unacceptable. I mean, she's wearing a schoolgirl uniform, for Christ's sakes. This is bad. This is very, very bad. But I don't get into finish my explanation. That's probably a good thing, too. Laughing cheerfully, Belle takes hold of my hand. Eyeballs, my body feels strangely light, like a hollowed-out pepper. Come on, Dad, let's go. I want to go shopping. You promised you'd pick me up some new clothes, remember? Yes, of course. Let's see, how many trophies are left? Because we got 2 of them in this stream. We only got 4 trophies left. Oh, that sucks, Travis. I allow myself to be dragged away by the playful devil that is Belle. Oh, that's good, Travis. You did definitely bring that. Now, before I laid down a crisp pet 10 note on the table, of course. I might have committed a grave social flux plus and kissed my daughter in the middle of an ice cream parlor, complete with tongues, but I am not a thief. Even I have standards. That was the greatest. Maybe to you, but not to me. I must have looked like a... I don't even want to know what I looked like. Damn, why the hell did you do that? Because it was fun. You're trying to ruin my reputation for fun. Hee hee, don't be like that, Robin. Belle giggles, blushing a few stray tears from the corner of her eyes with her fingertips. You teach music at a primary school. It's not like you have much of a reputation. Well, you might be right there, but still, I'd like to retain what little scraps of dignity I may have. But did you see the looks on their faces? It was amazing. I thought the girl behind the counter was going to faint. Deriving this much amusement from the suffering of others is a sign of psychoness. Well, people from certain cultures do call beings like me demons. Maybe they weren't far off the mark. Come on, it was all harmless fun. For you, maybe. You're right, I'm sorry. This is very serious. Belle nods soberly, her arms forward trying to force an expression of guilt. Her eyes are unturned, much like the Virgin Mary seeking guidance from God. This facade does not last for very long. Her shoulders start shaking within seconds, and laughter begins to bumble from between her pursed lips. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. She laughs so hard she's doubled over, arms around her middle, as though she might explode from the hilarity of it all. She laughs open like a small child. Her laughter is without grace, distorted and jumbled, but it is precisely because her laugh lacks harmony that it is so very charming. I don't know if I ever heard anyone laugh like that before, with quite so much zizz. Though I'm shaken by the earlier events and my face is still beet red from embarrassment, I soon find myself joining in. I want to be mad at her, but I can't. How could I? It would be impossible. Especially when she looks so happy. Ah, see? Belle points at me, a triumphant smirk on her lips. She wore a similar smirk just after she had kissed me, as though marking me as her own personal property. You laugh. I made you laugh, because the situation is so very ridiculous. What can I do but laugh? I know, right? You shouldn't take yourself so seriously, Robin. You'll get wrinkles. I already have wrinkles. I know, but more wrinkles. Belle giggles, pressing her hands against both sides of her face. It's because I prescribe a strict diet of at least one amusing experience per day, but my skin doesn't sag, no matter how old I get. I'm several centuries old and I could still pass as being 16. I roll my eyes, though I can't stop myself from smiling. How does she do it? Demetrius over the water, baffled. What's that meant to be? It sounds like it could be some kind of dumb of a... You know what the internet is? Well, duh. How would I be able to live in the 21st century if I didn't know what the internet was? I don't know. I thought the digital era might have passed you by since you were busy being a cat. Come on, cut me some slack. I'm a pretty trendy person. I even know how young girls wear their uniforms. Belle strikes a pose, one hand on her hip, her skirt as short as ever, catches in the breeze, fluttering around her thighs. It's a good thing the two of us vacated to this river only a short walk away from the main shopping center. I got tired of various pedestrians looking us up and down and chuckling. No doubt they're like the workers in the ice cream parlor assumed I was Belle's father. Disgusting, I can just imagine little old ladies thinking as they adjusted their handbags around their shoulders. How could a father let his little girl go out just like that? Wish I could explain it to him that I told her to dress responsible multiple times, but she doesn't listen. Bo's too willy and willful. Though she isn't sporting her fluffy black ears and tail, she is just like a cat. She does whatever she wants. God, Belle, I sigh, running a hand through my hair. What am I going to do with you? You're impossible. Yep, that's my middle name. Speaking of which, I don't know your last name. You never told me. I pause. And that's where we're going to pause the stream too. Until next time, have a good day, everybody.